Thank you, Deputy Speaker. In my first speech to Parliament, I made it clear to those who elected me and to those who are in the room that I wanted to be part of a government to help fix the imbalance in school funding. And my ask was pretty simple, Deputy Speaker. I want public school kids to have the same education and resources as those who attend independent schools. And today we know that the scales have been tipped heavily in the wrong direction. For far too long, public schools in Australia have been underfunded, and in New South Wales, the gap in the schooling resource standard has persisted. This gap doesn't exist as regularly for independent schools, and it has meant that students' access to quality education isn't the same. The imbalance we have, made worse by nearly a decade under the Liberals, has meant that students from disadvantaged backgrounds were 3 times more likely to fall behind, with 86,000 students across the country not meeting basic literacy or numeracy standards. And so, to address this gap, Labor has put $16 billion on the table over the next decade, committing to cover half of the SRS funding gap. This $16 billion represents the largest increase in Commonwealth funding to public schools in Australian history, ensuring that all students, no matter their background, have access to high-quality public education. And our ask is pretty reasonable, Deputy Speaker. The states who are responsible for the delivery of public education can fund half, and the federal government will step up and fund the other half. And for the first time, our federal investment is tied to real, measurable outcomes, focused on improving student performance, enhancing student well-being, and creating a strong and sustainable teaching workforce. The Better and Fairer Schools Agreement reflects this commitment to reform and sets out to close the educational and equity gaps that have held back so many public school kids for so long. As we know, education opens doors, and these reforms will ensure that every student, regardless of their background, has a foundation to build a successful future, because learning just doesn't happen in a vacuum. In today's world, supporting students' well-being is also crucial. The pandemic brought new challenges, and we've seen a rise in mental health issues among young students. That's why Labor has invested over $200 million in student well-being through the Student Wellbeing Boost. This funding allows every school across the country to support student mental health better, with the flexibility to address the specific needs of their school communities. Schools have used this funding to bring in mental health professionals, run wellbeing programs, and create activities that foster a sense of belonging and engagement. Our approach to wellbeing ensures that no student's mental health is overlooked. We know that when students are emotionally supported, they're more prepared to engage academically. This investment in student wellbeing is a direct response to the mental health challenges young Australians face today, making sure they have the support at school that they need to thrive. A strong education system also requires a strong workforce. Unfortunately, Australia has been facing a teacher shortage, an issue that's been growing over the past 10 years. Our government is addressing this challenge head-on through the National Teacher Workforce Action Plan. It includes a $159 million investment for 4,000 additional university places in education, a $30 million teacher workload reduction fund, and $56 million in scholarships designed to attract passionate individuals to the profession. These initiatives are creating a stronger and more sustainable workforce. We're not only focused on attracting new teachers, but also on supporting those already in the classroom. This plan provides teachers with high-quality professional learning, eases their workload, and equips them with the tools they need to succeed in the classroom. Retaining experienced teachers and encouraging new ones to the field are essential to our strong education system, and our plan is crucial to achieving that. Our commitment to education also includes the very environments in which they learn, with $285 million allocated through the Schools Upgrade Fund to invest in critical school infrastructure. And in Bennelong, schools like Eastwood Heights Public School, Ryde Public School and West Ryde Public School have received upgrades to outdoor learning spaces, shade structures and more, creating comfortable, safe environments for students to learn and grow. Deputy Speaker, on this side, we want our public schools to be the best they can be. What we've delivered, plus our record funding arrangements on the table, show that federal Labor is serious about addressing the funding imbalance in public schools in Bennelong and right across the country.